This is the main menu of White City, and I'm going to start here making my new mission. I'm going to press create mission, and I'm going to name my mission with some name. Now a default mission is being created with an empty map, and I will first show you how to edit the map. I will go straight to the Rules button when I start my mission. Rules is a button used from the player's tool. When you are playing a game, you can just look at the rules and see how they are changing, but you can't. But the player can't change any of the rules while he is playing, because he can make the mission too easy or too difficult for himself. Instead, editing the rules is possible only for the level designers, and they should first press start editing. Now they are not going to have high scores, and they are going to make a new mission. First they should press edit initial map, and what they are seeing now is an empty map, but they can draw a lot of buildings using a spray of buildings or brush of buildings with different sizes, perhaps bigger brush or smaller brush. They can also brush not buildings but streets, and even frozen cells. For example, now I am placing a terrain that is not possible for the bulldozer. I can also place a terrain which is not settable for the cars. No population is going to settle here. Those buttons that took so much of my time because I'm a little bit not concentrated on using them are actually pretty simple. This checkbox is used to define, are you going to set this terrain now or not. So I can be setting frozen cell with no settle or with settlement allowed. I'm currently placing terrain which is forbidden for settling. I'm going to also place a terrain which is forbidden for car movement. You can see that the terrains can overlap, and I'm actually making a terrain in which all the frozen cells are overlapping. So here there will be no bulldozement, no car movement, and no settlement of population. So you can draw a map like this with size selected from you, or you can use this pretty useful option, load data from. You can load the data from existing map, which is kind of like copying the existing map, or from existing saved game you have already played. And the most useful possibility is to load map from an image file. Those are the JPEGs images in the folder in Documents White City Game Data City Maps, and I'm just going to pick just one random picture. I'm going to select which of its colors mean different population. For example, with this first slider, I'm going to enter that greenish means zero population and bluish means max population. So now my map looks like this. I can also enter new gradients. For example, I can enter that from yellow to yellow it all means no cars, no roads, frozen cell. And what you can see is that most yellow terrain from the loaded JPEG now is loaded in different manner. Using another gradient, for example from white to green, again from population, changes one more time the way in which my map was loaded. So I can experiment very much with all those settings until I got what I want. Then I can press save and restart. And what I'm going to be playing now is my just loaded from JPG map. Of course, you can use JPEGs with actual existing city maps or some abstract Mars photographs like mine. But anywhere you can easily make interesting gradients just like I did. Now what you can see is that my city doesn't have a lot of roads, and this could be a challenge for the player, or I could have drawn really other kind of map with a lot of roads or different amount of population, frozen cells, etc. Let me just imagine that I'm happy with my map. Of course I'm not, but after more careful work I will be. So when I have a map that I'm happy with, I can just press rules, and if I press start editing again, I can use all these options about jump score of the cars, about their patience of movement, miscellaneous rules about the bulldozer movement and is it slow on different terrains or fast when creating roads. Those are the rules in the cars tab, and they control how much cars will be starting. For example, I can now make the incoming cars low, and in few turns you will see that those existing traffic jams will become less and less. Of course I can see this in the cars tab too here in statistics. Let me continue with the rules. Formulas is just a small tab with rules about attraction. Most attraction rules are in terrain tab. You can change how the nearby buildings and roads affect attractiveness here. As you can see, nearby roads there is more red terrains, so there is more attractive to settle. Skills is the tab about power-ups, and you can change what power-ups are available for the bulldozer. And the last 4 tabs are about the Pathfinder. As you can see, 3 of them are grayed out. That's because only one of the Pathfinders is selected in the moment, all the cars are traveling using the A-star Pathfinder, so only those options are useful in the moment. You can change what kind of energy the cars need when they are moving on the roads, and now that I've changed this rule from 20 to 7, all the cars on the roads are much more faster. If instead I make this a bigger number, the car on the road, the cars moving on the roads would be much slower. As you know, the car speed and the time needed to reach the destination is affecting the jump score. So you can see that when the level designer make such changes to the rules, they actually affect the happiness of the cars too. So all those changes that the level designer is making should make such a mission that the player needs to be good, efficient and fast, making the most needed roads so the cars could reach their destinations fast and be happy with their created roads. Instead, if a player is not making good roads, he should be losing the game, so the jump score should be going down, just like it's now doing after the roads become so much hostile for the cars. You can spend a lot of time playing with the White City rules, and you will have to learn a lot, but you will then be able to make new missions easily and fast, which will be a great challenge for the players of White City.